Hi there and welcome to this release summary presentation. My name is Jonathan Smith, Cloud Solutions Area Expert here at Insight, and I'll be taking you through a few of the features you can expect in release 3.12.0. So here we have a quick summary of some of the major features you can expect to see in this release. So we've got destination failover enhancements, a couple of additions to the Network Manager application. The installer has a few additional options now as well, and we've added support for new underlying architectures. So I'm going to take you through a slide by slide and just talk through each of these enhancements in turn and what you can expect from them. So first of all, we'll look at the destination failover enhancement. So this really corresponds to the feature that's existed in Nimbra Edge for a while. That allows you to select both a primary and secondary stream in a failover scenario to a particular destination. The big change in this release is that Nimbra Edge is now route aware, and so it can now trace back to the source that the stream is originating from, and it will hold the secondary stream all the way back at the source before it is before the two streams are distributed out to the rest of the fabric. What that means is a couple of things that you'll see compared to the initial implementation. One's that of bandwidth saving. So the secondary stream is now held all the way back at the source. So between the source all the way through the rest of your network fabric, you'll reduce your bandwidth overhead there. In fact, you'll halve it all the way to the endpoint nearest the destination. So that will reduce your bandwidth overhead. And in fact, it may allow you to increase the single stream bandwidth allocation to get better quality on that same kind of overhead and that same footprint. The other thing that's very important is egress saving. So because the fact we're holding the source now right the way back at the beginning of this process, there is no traffic pass between the regions until a failover is required. So this will give you significant savings if you're working with egress charge-based public cloud providers or cloud providers for that matter. And it also allows you potentially to provide protection without increasing overhead. So if you were making choices in the past not to protect various bits of your network with failover strategies because of the egress costs, now you can supply that functionality without concern. If we take a look at the network management enhancements, these are primarily around a feature that creates a test pattern within the system, the test pattern generator. So a fairly simple feature, but we've added a frame counter option to the test pattern stream, and along that you can choose a frame rate and a resolution setting to be configured. So now the test pattern generator will also have a tick within it, so you can check for both video presence and the stream is still active and incrementing through frames. The Nimbra Edge installer has got a couple of additions to make deployments more flexible and easier. So the proxy server option has been added to the installer. So this allows you to deploy the system in network topologies requiring proxy routing to be supported. So you sometimes see this, or fairly commonly see this, in big corporate network settings, for example. And so this allows you to deploy in those kind of networks without any problems or workarounds needed. The other addition to the installer is a non-interactive flag. So this option allows the installer to be run without any kind of user interaction with that. So this opens up the possibility of automating these deployments. The final feature I want to talk about today is extended support for different architectures. So we have added support for ARM64 CPU architectures. And this allows us to increase the availability of deployment options for Edge Connect. So it can now be deployed on anywhere you might see ARM64 underlying architectures. So obviously this architecture is commonly used in various embedded devices, single board computers, IoT and stuff like that. So it just opens up opportunities to allow that to be Nimbra Edge Connect to be distributed more easily. That's it for this summary. We'll be sure to check back in every time there's a major release to give you these overviews. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to reach out to your local sales representative, your partner representative, or indeed come through to the technical team. All the very best. Thank you very much.